My name is Jason, and this is Just Watches. Now, I did a review of some of Vario's straps and their strap roll, which I love, but I haven't had a chance to review one of their watches. So when they reached out to see if I wanted to borrow their 1918 Pilot watch to review, I jumped at the opportunity. However, before we get to that review, if you're enjoying the contents of this channel, I invite you to subscribe. And if you're enjoying the contents of this individual video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. As for price and availability, as of the time of this recording, this watch is available on the Vario website in 3 colorways with a price of $388 US. The case is 40 millimeters in diameter, 47 millimeters lug to lug, and these are fixed lugs. It's 12 millimeters thick, which includes a pretty massive dome crystal, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. Now on the stock bund strap, it weighs in at 80 grams. The case is really cool. It's a round bowl style with brushing on the majority, but then the top has a high polished bezel, and that bezel continues that gentle curve that is found across the entire midcase. Now that high polished bezel does add a nice pop to the case without making it overly flashy. Again, the lugs are fixed, meaning you can't put just any strap on here. You'll notice that the stock bunt strap is affixed with snaps. And then Vario also supplies a strap that has a very rigid hook style on the end that will also work. And then of course you can use nylon straps, and honestly I think those look best on this watch. Now this is a nod to the historic elements of this watch. Pocket watches evolved into wristwatches by having lugs added. So that's the style of this watch, but just know that it is going to limit your strap options. The screw down exhibition case back gives a view of the Miyota 8N33 hand-wound movement. There's also information around the edge of the case back. While there's no fancy finishing on this movement, since it is hand-wound, you get a really good view of the components within. And then it has a power reserve of 42 hours and a stated accuracy of -20 to +40 seconds a day. This watch doesn't hack, and remember, since it's hand-wound only, there's no rotor, so you will have to wind it quite regularly. The 6mm push-pull onion-style crown is high polish and signed with V for Vario. The crown is a great size, which is very important on a hand-wind only watch, as you'll be interacting with it very often to keep the watch wound. The domed sapphire crystal rises 2mm proud of the case. It's treated with an anti-reflective coating on the inner surface, which helps cut down on reflections and glare. Dome crystal looks really good on this watch and is very cohesive and feels like a natural extension of that curved case. Now let's check out this dial. You probably notice right away that the dial is rotated 2 hours to the right. So this watch is styled after historic pilot watches, where the dials were rotated that way to make them easier to read while piloting an aircraft without having to let go of the controls. While it's definitely a bit strange at first, after a few days of wearing it, your brain will just sort of correct for that orientation. Now, the dial itself is a beautiful, shiny white enamel. There's a railroad track around the edges marking out the minutes. The hours are indicated with Arabic numerals that rise off the dial ever so slightly, are edged in black and then filled with lume. This gives them a lot of dimensionality and gives more life to the dial overall. Then we have just Vario at 12. That's the only text on the dial, and I love the simplicity, legibility, and restraint on the use of text on the dial. The cathedral style hands are flat, brushed, and then filled with lume. Now I love the combination of these hands with these numerals. It gives the watch a very elegant look overall. Now the hands and numerals are all loomed, and while the lume is responsive, it does fade rather quickly and also inconsistently between the hands and the indices. So here is the watch on my 6 3/4 inch wrist on the bunt strap. This I think is a fun combo, but obviously not everyone's cup of tea. It's going to make the watch feel a little bit more bulky, but it is actually quite comfortable as long as it isn't a hot day. Then I think though with fixed lugs, nylon strap is the move, and you can see it looks great on one of these, and then obviously with this white dial, you're going to have a ton of color options to pair it with. For pros and cons, let's start with the pros. First, this watch is just beautiful and oozes character. From the bowl case and fixed lugs to the enamel dial, stylized Arabic numerals, and cathedral hands, the watch has a ton of personality. Second, I love how simple they kept the dial, with the only text being Vario at 12. Third, I love these clip-on straps for fixed lugs. Not only does this strap look fantastic on the watch, but it's a clever solution and you can use it on other watches that have fixed lugs as well, and Vario actually does sell these separately on their site. As for cons, I think I would love to have seen the hands edged in black to match the indices. I think that would have had the hands jump off the dial even more and even slightly improve legibility. Second, the lume could be a bit stronger. It definitely reacts well to light, but it fades quickly. As for comps, well, in this price range, I don't think there is one that has this much character. However, if you want to look at a broader pilot watch world, then for less you could get an Islander aviator watch. It's going to lack that vintage aesthetic, but they do come in a number of colorways as well as A and B style dials. For around the same price, you could get Vario, has a number of historically styled military watches. And then for more, you could consider a Hamilton khaki pilot. It has a nice oversized crown as well as those cathedral hands. So there you have it, the Vario 1918 Pilot Watch. What do you think about this watch? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you're enjoying the contents of this channel, I invite you to subscribe. And if you like the contents of this individual video, please give it a thumbs up. That's all for this time. My name is Jason, and you have been watching Just Watches.